Hello and welcome. In this video, we are discussing about objects and classes in Java. So we will learn about Java objects and classes. So in object-oriented programming technique, we design a program using objects and classes. So an object in Java is the physical as well as logical entity, whereas a class in Java is a logical entity only. So what is an object in Java? So objects, real world examples: pencil, apple, book, bag, board, etc. So an object that has state and behavior is known as an object. Example: chair, bike, marker, pen, table, car, etc. It can be physical or logical. The example of an intangible object is the banking system. So an object has three characteristics. State represents the data value of an object. Then behavior represents the behavior functionality of an object, such as deposit, withdraw, etc. Then identity. So an object identity is typically implemented via a unique ID, and the value of the ID is not visible to the external user. However, it is used internally by the JVM to identify each object uniquely. So characteristics of object. State represents the data of an object. Behavior represents the behavior of an object, such as deposit, withdraw, etc. Identity is used internally by the JVM to identify each object uniquely. For example, pen is an object. Its name is Reynolds, color is white, known as its state, and it is used to write. So writing is its behavior. So an object is an instance of a class. So a class is a template or blueprint from which objects are created. So an object is the instance result of a class. Object definition. So an object is a real world entity and an object is a runtime entity. The object is an entity which has state and behavior. And an object is an instance of a class. So what is a class in Java? So a class is a group of objects which have common properties. It is a template or blueprint from which objects are created. It is a logical entity and it can't be physical. So a class in Java can contain fields, methods, constructors, blocks, nested class and interface. So class in Java: fields, methods, constructors, blocks, nested class and interface. So syntax to declare a class: class, class name, field, method. Instance variable in Java. So variable which is created inside the class but outside the method is known as an instance variable. So instance variable doesn't get memory at a compile time. It gets memory at a runtime when an object or instance is created. So that is why it is known as an instance variable. So method in Java. So in Java, a method is like a function which is used to expose the behavior of an object. And advantage of method is code reusability and optimization. New keyword in Java. So the new keyword is used to allocate memory at runtime, and all objects gets memory in heap memory area. Object and class example main within the class. And in this example, we have created a student class which has two data members, ID and name. And we are creating the object of the student class by new keyword and printing the object's value. So here we are creating a main method inside the class. Student.java defining a student class. Class student, int ID, string name, and public static void main string args, creating an object or instance. Student s1 equal to new student. Creating an object of student and then printing the values of the object. System.out.println s1.id. Accessing member through reference variable. System.out.println s1.name. So the output will be 0 and null. So object class example main outside the class. So in real-time development, we create classes and use it from another class. So it is a better approach than previous one. So let's see a simple example where we are having main method in another class. And we can have multiple classes in different Java files or single Java file. And if you define multiple classes in a single Java source file, it is a good idea to save the file with the class name which has main method. So Java program to demonstrate having the main method. Creating student class student int id string name, then creating another class test student1 which contains the main method. Classes test student1 public static void main string args student s1 equal to new student system.out.println s1.id and s1.name. Output will be 0 and null. So three ways to initialize the object. So there are three ways to initialize an object in Java: by reference variable, by method, and by constructor. So object and class example initialization through reference. So initializing an object means storing data into the object. So let's see a simple example where we are going to initialize the object through a reference variable. Class student int id string name class test student2 public static void main string args student s1 equal to new student s1.id equal to 101 s1.name equal to sono and system.out.println s1.id s1 plus name printing members with a white space, and the output will be 101 so on. We can also create multiple objects and store information in it through reference value. Test student3.java class student int id string name class of test student3 public static void main string args. Creating objects student s1 equal to new student student s2 equal to new student, initializing objects and output 101 sono 0 to Amit. Then object and class example initialization through method. In this example, we are creating two objects of student class and initializing the value to these objects by invoking the insert record method. And here we are displaying the state data of the objects by invoking the display information method. test student 4.java. So as you can see in the figure, object gets a memory in heap memory area, and the reference variable refers to the object allocated in the heap memory area. Here S1 and S2 both are reference variables that refer to the objects allocated in memory. So object and class example initialization through a constructor. Object and class example employee. So let us see an example where we are maintaining the records of employees. Just employee.java. Then object and class example rectangle, another example that maintains records of a rectangle class. Then what are the different ways to create an object in Java? So there are many ways to create an object in Java. They are by new keyword, by new instance method, by clone method, by deserialization, and by factory method. Then creating multiple objects by one type only. Then real world example account. Java program to demonstrate the working of a banking system where we deposit and withdraw amount from our account. So this is the program. So this was a brief discussion on objects and classes in Java. Thanks for watching this video. Bye for now.